The reason why humans have come to value appearance is the result of a combination of historical, biological, and social factors. 1. Biological factors: survival and breeding. Natural and gender selection. According to Darwin's theory of evolution, humans tend to favor spouses with favorable traits for reproduction. For example, healthy skin, a symmetrical face, and a balanced body were considered signs of good genes and health. Birth and upbringing: men tended to be attracted to young, healthy women who were able to give birth, curvy, clean skin, etc., while women preferred strong men who could provide resources, muscular, tall physique, etc. 2. Social factors: classes and power. Aesthetic standards in ancient civilizations. In the period of Egypt, Greece, and Rome, appearance was directly related to status. The nobility, with clean skin and neat clothes, were considered the divine ideal for proportionate faces and bodies. In China, extreme decoration of appearance, like the whole family culture, symbolized high status. Medieval and modern Europe. In medieval Europe, pale skin was a symbol of nobility, and after the Industrial Revolution, body shape and dress were considered a measure of wealth. Media impact of modern society. Since the 20th century, certain beauty standards: thin body, distinct features, etc., have spread worldwide due to the development of Hollywood, the fashion industry, and SNS. 3. Economic and cultural factors. Appearance and social success studies have shown that attractive people often have advantages in employment, annual pay, and interpersonal relationships. Capitalism and consumption culture: as the cosmetics, plastic surgery, and diet markets grew, looking became an individual's competitive edge. After all, it can be seen that the importance of human appearance began with biological instincts, and was further strengthened with social structures and cultural changes. Analyzing the psychological background that humans value appearance shows that factors such as social comparison, self-identity, and psychological reward, as well as instinctive needs, work in combination. 1. Evolutionary psychological perspectives. Appearance is a sign of survival and breeding. Power of first impression: humans build an impression based on the other person's appearance in seconds. This is an instinctive response that had to quickly determine whether a stranger was a threat or a trustworthy one from the primitive age. Charm and genetic signals: a balanced face, healthy skin, and a good body shape are considered signs of good genes, creating a greater affinity for the opposite sex. Appearance and social status. Historically, aesthetic standards have often symbolized wealth and power, which has unconsciously created a perception that appearance is linked to social success. 2. Socio-psychological perspectives. Social comparison and the desire for coordination. Social comparison theory: Leon Festinger. Humans tend to evaluate their values by comparing them to others. The more the ideal beauty standard is presented repeatedly in the media, the more people have a desire to compare themselves and meet that standard. A desire for sympathy and recognition. Humans have a strong desire to be recognized within the group of Maslow's 5 stages of desire. The desire of belonging and affection. When a particular appearance receives a positive evaluation, people try to strengthen it. And on the contrary, they feel anxious when they deviate from the standard. 3. Self-psychological perspectives: appearance and self-identity. Appearance and self-esteem. People who meet beauty standards are more likely to receive a lot of positive feedback and increase their self-esteem. Conversely, negative reviews of appearance can also lead to lower self-esteem. Self-disagreement theory, E.T. Higgins. Self-expression through appearance. Appearance is not just a biological characteristic, but an important factor in expressing an individual's identity and personality. For example, through makeup or styling, people strengthen their identity and convey specific images to others. 4. Cognitive psychological perspectives: beauty bias and stereotypes. Halo effect. People with good looks tend to automatically assume that they are intelligent and have a good personality. This affects various social situations such as recruitment, education, and dating. Cognitive bias and media influences. People tend to prefer repeated encounters: simple exposure effect, science. When the media emphasizes certain standards of beauty, people unconsciously perceive it as ideal. Conclusion: strong psychological effects created by instincts and social structures. It's not just a cultural phenomenon that humans value appearance. Evolutionary instincts: survival and reproduction. Social pressure: desire for comparison and recognition. An individual's psychological rewards: self-esteem, self-expression. It's a combined complex phenomenon. In modern society, however, appearance-centeredness can cause psychological stress. Therefore, a psychological balance that recognizes one's individuality and essential values is becoming more important. After all, it seems that the reason we have come to value appearance is not just an instinctive phenomenon, but a phenomenon that has historically been strengthened by social and cultural trends. Appearance can, of course, be a tool for expressing one's charm and giving one's confidence. But I think we need a slightly different perspective when appearance-driven thinking overcharges and stresses us out. What's important is to care about your true self beyond appearance, and to pursue a healthy mind and balanced life. Appearance is only one factor, not everything that determines it. I think it's more important for all of us to practice loving ourselves and cherish our own individuality and values more. So I think the reason we end up with such importance seems to be the result of a mixture of instinct, social structure, and psychological influences. But nowadays, the appearance-driven thinking often distresses us and stresses us out in comparison to others. So, rather than trying to look too big and perfect, shouldn't we now need to understand and cherish more of one's essence? Externally beautiful is good, but eventually loving myself and knowing and acknowledging the true value I have leads to a greater attraction. So let's all practice looking at ourselves more as we are and being happy in our own right. What really matters is the inner beauty and confidence that we can't show only by our appearance.